So I've been in Shanghai for a month now, and I spent a lot of time just wandering around the streets. And I figured it was about time that I started imparting some of the knowledge that I'm gaining from this crazy city to you guys. So I figured I'd tell you a little bit about the signage here on the Shanghainese roads. So the first thing I thought of when I went to make this video about signs was the ridiculous mistranslations between English and Chinese that you see all over the internet. However, since Shanghai is so international, a lot of the public signs are actually fairly decently translated. So I thought I'd just give you a basic rundown of all the road signs, the kind of things you're going to commonly see if you're in China, specifically Shanghai. Of course, you got your really standard signs that are going to be familiar to you even if you aren't a Chinese speaker or from China. Stop sign's still that same hexagonal shape, just says stop in Chinese on it rather than English. A pharmacy sign, pretty standard, especially for European countries, the green plus sign. This one, there's quite a few of them around my apartment. It means slow down. I always get way too excited when I see signs that I can read them, even if they're just 一年级的学生的样子. This one here is a warning against slippery steps. At least I think it's slippery steps. It was next to a waterfall. Hopefully I didn't translate that too far off. So these are the moderately important ones. If you're like me and prefer biking around than cramming into an overpacked subway or bus, it's very important to pay attention to all the biking signs. There's a pretty great bike infrastructure here, but there's a lot of these great big blue circles with red X's across them, and for a really long time I had no idea what they meant, which meant that my bike was getting moved a lot by other people. Fortunately, it hasn't been completely taken and put somewhere else. But the other day while walking around, I found the sign underneath that said, no bike parking. So now I know what they mean, and now I know why my bike's been being moved all the time. If you aren't like me and enjoy the moderately fast but still cramped subway, the metro sign is a little squiggly M. And if you don't see that, they have a lot of rectangular long signs that have a picture of a train on them, and conveniently the line that's closest to where you are. So you can just follow those on the street till you find the squiggly M, or the actual subway entrance. The signs for bus stops are pretty similar to the squiggly M metro sign, except for instead of having a squiggly M, they just have an actual little bus. Oh, and I found these rather clever. They're for parking garages, and they show how many spots that are still left. This sign here is probably the most ignored sign in all of China. It's pretty obvious. It means don't bike here. That being said, absolutely no one follows it. Close second to the most ignored street sign would be this one. Now you wouldn't think that casual bugling would be such a problem in China. What? Oh, it means no honking. Well, that makes a lot more sense. No one listens to that one either. Here's a sample of some street sound filmed directly next to one of these no honking signs. See? No one follows it. Absolutely everyone here honks for the most unnecessary reasons. Like, I understand if you're biking on your moped and you want to warn the pedestrian in front of you that you're about to approach them and pass them on their side, but slamming on your horn for a good 20 minutes before you even are 10 meters to them is so obnoxious. This is by far my favorite sign. It's plastered all around the apartment building I'm living in, and it means rent, but I really like how they put the little heart in it. Alright, that's all I've got. I'm gonna go watch Doctor Who now, because hopefully it's loaded. Getting BBC in China is really hard. See you laters. Bye! Oh, guess what? China has YOLO too.